Joseph was the son of Jacob, and Jacob loved him more than any of his other sons, because Joseph had been born to him in his old age. To show his love, Jacob gave Joseph a beautiful coat full of many colors. It was so bright and special that every time Joseph wore it, his brothers got more jealous. Joseph was a dreamer. One night, he had a dream and ran to tell his brothers, "I dreamed we were tying up bundles of grain in the field. Suddenly, my bundle stood up, and all your bundles gathered around and bowed down to mine." His brothers were angry. "Do you really think you'll rule over us?" they asked. But Joseph had another dream. This time the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed to him. Even his father wondered what that meant. One day, Jacob sent Joseph out to check on his brothers, who were grazing the sheep far away. When they saw him coming, wearing that colorful coat, they said to each other, "Here comes that dreamer. Let's kill him and see what becomes of his dreams." But Reuben, the oldest brother, said, "No, let's not kill him. Let's throw him into this pit." Reuben secretly planned to rescue Joseph later, so when Joseph reached them, they ripped off his coat and threw him into a deep, empty pit. While they were eating, a caravan of traders passed by on their way to Egypt. Judah, another brother, said, "Why kill him? Let's sell him instead." So they pulled Joseph out and sold him for 20 pieces of silver. The traders took Joseph away to Egypt. To hide what they did, the brothers killed a goat, dipped Joseph's colorful coat in its blood, and took it back to Jacob. When Jacob saw it, he cried bitterly. He thought Joseph had been killed by a wild animal, and no one could comfort him. Meanwhile, Joseph arrived in Egypt and was sold to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard. Even as a slave, Joseph worked hard, and God blessed everything he did. Potiphar trusted Joseph so much, he put him in charge of his entire house. But Potiphar's wife lied about Joseph and accused him of doing something terrible he didn't do. Because of her lie, Joseph was thrown into prison, even though he was innocent. Even there, God was with Joseph. The prison warden saw that Joseph was honest and wise, so he put him in charge of the other prisoners. One night, 2 of Pharaoh's servants, the chief cupbearer and the baker, were put in prison too. They both had strange dreams, and Joseph, with God's help, told them what their dreams meant. Joseph asked the cupbearer, "When you get out, please remember me and help me get out of here." Just like Joseph said, the cupbearer was freed and returned to Pharaoh's service. Finally, the cupbearer remembered Joseph. Pharaoh ordered Joseph to come from the prison, clean up, and stand before him. Joseph told Pharaoh, "I can't interpret dreams on my own, but God will give Pharaoh the answer he needs." He explained the dreams meant 7 years of plenty were coming, then 7 years of famine. Joseph advised Pharaoh, "Choose a wise man to store up grain during the good years, so there will be food during the famine." Pharaoh was so amazed at Joseph's wisdom that he said, "Who else has the Spirit of God like this man?" Pharaoh made Joseph second in command over all Egypt, from prisoner to governor in one day. When famine struck, people came from all nations to buy grain from Egypt, including Joseph's own brothers. They didn't recognize him when they bowed before him, just like his dream had said long ago. At first, Joseph tested them to see if their hearts had changed. When he saw they were truly sorry for what they'd done, he revealed himself, weeping. His brothers were terrified, but Joseph said, "Don't be afraid. You meant to harm me, but God meant it for good, to save many lives." Joseph forgave them and brought his father Jacob and the whole family to live safely in Egypt, where he cared for them all. His dream, his pain, his waiting, all of it had a purpose. Family. Joseph's story shows that even when life doesn't make sense, God is still working behind the scenes. The pit couldn't stop the promise. The prison couldn't stop the dream. In the end, the palace was waiting. Keep trusting. What others meant for evil, God can still turn for good in your life.